guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're doing really well. So today's video, by the title you can guess, it's an update on my second trimester. I have finished my second trimester. I'm now at the beginning of my third. So I thought it would be good to do a second part of the second trimester because I filmed the other part in the middle of it. And let me tell you, it was interesting to say the least. I have my phone here next to me because I took a few notes to make sure that I would remember to actually come and speak about them here. Let me tell you that it wasn't an easy second trimester, basically, and even now I'm still struggling, and I've come to my senses that I will struggle until the end, but that's okay. But remember when I said I had a scary back encounter in the other video? Well, I had another one, and this one was extremely bad, to the point that I was trying to walk to work and it got to a point I was in so much pain, I collapsed on the floor, I couldn't speak, I was just moaning and screaming for help because my back was in so much pain. And luckily a few people on the street saw me and they helped me. They had to call the ambulance for me because I was in too much pain, I couldn't speak. It was a whole thing, and I was in the A&E, they were checking me, the baby is fine, thank God, but the problem is that they can't figure out what to do with my back because I've got rheumatoid arthritis and scoliosis, and because I'm pregnant I can't do treatment. So right now I'm actually on waiting list to see a physiotherapist to help me to deal with my back until the end of the pregnancy, because I can't really take paracetamol non-stop every single day until the baby is here. That was quite stressful and scary. My partner was very stressed too and scared on that day as well, because he saw me in so much pain and he felt useless because he wanted to help me take the pain away and couldn't. Since then I haven't been able to go back to work. I'm actually on sick leave because of that, because of my back. And I had another incident 2 weeks later after that. I was walking Morena. Right now my belly is bigger than that time, but at that time it was already big enough to kind of cover my feet. When I look down, I can't actually see my feet anymore. Pregnancy struggles. Because of that, I stepped on something, or I misstepped something, and I fell and I've hit on my knees and my hips pretty hard. And then with the noise of me falling, Marina got a bit scared too, and she pulled the leash and I got a bit dragged on the floor, so it was a whole thing. And at the time I didn't feel any pain on myself. I noticed that I fell obviously and I've hit in a few places, but my adrenaline was so high and I was so in such a big state of panic I couldn't think of myself. The only thing was like, oh my god, did I hit my baby? And in my head I broke my baby's bones. It might sound stupid now and you might laugh that I fell in a stupid way, but at the time I was proper panicking, thinking that I've hurt my unborn baby. I got really lucky. In the middle of that situation, a gentleman saw me and came immediately to help me, tried to calm Marina too because she was very scared. He lived really close by, so he let me and Marina go to his place where his wife and his kids were there, and they were amazing people. They helped me calm down. They gave me a ride home to leave Marina and get my things to go to the hospital for the emergencies. They gave me a ride to the hospital too. They were fantastic, and it was another scary moment, but everything was fine with the baby, thank God. We did an emergency scan. We've heard the heart of the baby. It took a while to actually hear the heart, and I was freaking out and I almost couldn't breathe because I was like, why can't I hear my baby's heart? But then they figured out where it was, in the belly, and I was able to breathe. As soon as they told me your baby is fine, heart is fine, his body is fine, everything is absolutely fine, you have a very healthy baby, I just relaxed all my emotions in a way, and I cried a lot of relief. But then because my adrenaline went down, I started to feel where I actually felt like, oh my god, my knees, ow, oh, ow, my hips, ow, my back, ow. For a couple of days I was quite sore and I got quite bruised as well from that fall. But since then I still have back pain and it's not gonna go away basically until after the baby's here. So I'm doing the best I can. I have to rest quite a lot because I start to do a bit of effort and it starts hurting again. It's always, even now, like it's always hurting, but because I'm at home it's more manageable to control it, because none of us want me to get to the point that I got when I was trying to walk to work and I just collapsed collapsed in the middle of the road. It was not fun and it was very scary. A few people thought I was actually going into labor because I was in so much pain. So that's fun. Apart from the back, other things that I've noticed was that during mostly the second part of my second trimester, I was very sensitive emotionally. I've always been a sensitive person, but I was extremely sensitive to the point that if someone would, talk in a slightly different way to me, I would think that they were very upset with me and I would start crying and things like that. So I've noticed that my emotions were kind of like this, and I was very emotional and sensitive and would get hurt very easily. It was not fun. That plus the back pain, it was not a fun time basically. And then towards the end of the second trimester, coming into the third, which I'm still dealing with it now, but I will do a third trimester video at the end of the third trimester. Right up until the end of the second, maybe the last week of the second trimester, I started to have heartburn. And it's not really heartburn because it's not like the acid that comes up and down, it's actually the food. So sometimes I would imagine I eat, and I would have an early dinner, and then when I would go to bed in the middle of the night, I literally had to just sit down or stand up because I could feel the food just coming up and me wanting to be sick but trying to control it. So that hasn't been fun because since then I have to kind of lie down in a way where I'm always leaning, so I'm kind of sitting a lot when I'm sleeping, which is annoying, but I have to do it. That was literally, I think, the last week of the second trimester that I have to deal with. But now, on a positive note, the good things about the second trimester. This one is not really like a good or bad thing, it's just that I got told that this is normal, so I've started to feel like I want to eat less food, but more times. The last weeks of the second trimester, I've wanted to eat a lot of really small meals, but I wanted to constantly be eating, but just small portions. So I always had to make sure that I always had fruit in hand or like a snack or yogurt, something. I always had to have something to make sure that I would always be eating, but just really small portions. I couldn't have like, a big plate of something. Just didn't feel like it. It just felt better to have small portions, but lots of them basically throughout the day. And that made me feel way better in the pregnancy. So that's cool, I think. Other things is that obviously I was already feeling my baby, moving, but now I can actually see the baby moving, which is really cool, and other people can see it too. And I love when the baby's like in this, moving mood, and you can literally see the tummy going either like this or like this, and it's really, really, really strange, but it's awesome at the same time. It's so much fun, and especially when I take a bath, which is very rare, but when I do take a bath and the tummy's like outside of the water, if I throw warm water in the tummy, you can see the tummy always like doing this, and it's so cool because he's reacting to the water. And I think that's like the coolest thing ever, that you can actually start to see it quite well, the tummy moving and all of that. Obviously I can't see yet, like a foot like this, but you can see the tummy moving, and that's really, really cool in my opinion, and super strange and weird. It feels like you have a little alien inside you, but it's so cool. I find it really cool. Some people get a bit freaked out about it. I think it's awesome. It's so cool. And the other third thing that to me it's good, I am really excited about it because that was actually a concern of mine, is that some, it's called liquid gold, but not a lot, but some liquid gold mixed with transparent liquid started to come out of my ladies here, which for some people they might be like, ew, that's kind of gross, but actually they call it liquid gold because it's very nutritious for babies when you breastfeed, because the first milk that you give to your babies, it's full of colostrum, which is very good for the baby. And the reason why I was concerned before is because my mother and my aunt, both of them couldn't breastfeed because it was very painful for them and nothing came out of their breasts while they were pregnant. And even though I don't do yet any nipple stimulation because it's way too early for that, but the fact that I can see that I have, I am producing things here is making me very excited because I've always wanted to go through the experience of breastfeeding. And the fact that I already saw a bit of the liquid gold coming out of me, not like in stupid amounts, but I've seen some, which was kind of strange, like, oh my god, there's like stuff coming out of my boobs. But I got very excited because because I was like, oh my god, it means that I have a good chance of being able to breastfeed, which is something I really wanted to do. So that got me really excited because it feels like in the middle of all the craziness that's happened to my body in terms of like my back and all of that, at least I am healthy in the rest to actually be able to give my baby my milk. But that made me really, really excited to know that like, oh, I'm in a good path to be able to breastfeed, and I got really excited because that's something I've always wanted to do, and I've always wanted to know the sensation of breastfeeding a baby. So hopefully I will be able to. I'm having signs that I will be able to, and so I'm praying for that. And I'm very excited about that because it's something I've always wanted to do. I think this is it. And unfortunately, I'm not having a very normal pregnancy because I'm not having a very normal pregnancy because obviously most of my pregnancy I was at home because of the pandemic, and then when I went back to work, then I had this problem with my back. So it's quite different from other women that I've heard, but obviously every pregnancy is different. My mental health now is better, but during that part of the second trimester was a mess because I was in a lot of pain and I felt like the GP wasn't listening to me and all that. But now I'm finally feeling like I'm being heard, and because I've been to A&E twice, they saw me and they saw the pain I was having, and they realized that I'm not lying. And so that's the thing that I struggle the most. And even now, like I still have the back pain, but at least I'm gonna be seen by someone and hopefully they're gonna help me. Sometimes I wish someone would just come to my back and fold it in half to see if it, stops hurting once and for all. I hope you found this video interesting and give you, an idea of what a second trimester can be. I'm not trying to be negative here, I'm just literally talking about my experience. I know a lot of women have really fantastic experiences during their second trimester, and I know others that have a terrible one. I'm in between. Basically, if it wasn't for my back, I think I would be way better. I know I would be way better because of little efforts that I used to do before, even now I always need to ask for help. I've always struggled with asking people for help. Now I'm kind of getting into the mindset that it's okay to ask for help. And by the way, the family that helped me when I fell when I was walking Marina, they were so fantastic that they talked to their friends who had babies as well, and they gifted us a bunch of things for our baby. When I say a bunch of things, I'm meaning tons of clothing, Moses basket, a bathtub, a support for the bathtub, a support for the Moses basket, a car seat for a baby. They also gifted us a baby monitor and a pumping machine. I was kind of like, what the? And toys. It was crazy. I was so shocked because they did not have to do that at all. It was just heartwarming to see that there are people in this world with huge hearts. And me and Carlos were speechless when we saw all the things they brought us, and we cannot be more thankful for all the help that family gave us. So I'm dedicating this video to them because they were fantastic. And also, obviously, I don't know who these people were and what are their names and where they live and all of that, but the people who helped me when I was trying to walk to work and I collapsed in the middle of the road, and the people that helped me handling that moment while I was waiting for my partner and the ambulance, thank you from the bottom of my heart. It's in these situations that I get really, really happy that there are still wonderful people in this world, so thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a like. Make sure you share this video with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Turn on the notification bell so you can get notified when I post videos. I hope you're having a great day, and remember, be happy and have a magical life. Bye guys.